Are you ready to experience an elevation one mortals may never comprehend, perhaps never will? Hey man, it's Dude Heyman here, and we're gonna do a recap of AEW Dark Elevation. And we're gonna start off with that scary Abaddon, and she faces an innocent Amy Rose. She's doing her AEW debut. I believe she was in ROH, according to Ian. And she got hit with the Black Dahlia. Got pinned 1, 2, 3, and it's over. This lady, she's really scary. Next is the Trustbusters. And they go on to face Dalton Castle and the boys. And like every match, they start off taunting Dalton Castle, and then Dalton Castle ends up winning. He finishes Daivari with the what is this? The boomerang, of course. That's I knew the name. Come on, guys. And Dalton Castle, this guy, he uses his friends basically to win his matches. Alright, next we got Athena. Athena, she has bad vibes too. She faces Abby Jane. Abby Jane, she's innocent. And she ends up getting crossface, or as they call it here, the S-lock. She really stretches her out. The ref, even after the opponent lost, Athena kept raging on. Obviously, they're trying to get real heat with her. Next is Tay Mello, accompanied by Sammy Guevara. She fights Trish Adora. Yeah, and Tay Mello, she finishes Adora off with the Tay KO. Yeah, it's pretty devastating when she puts that knee right there. Kind of, I wonder if it's inspired by Sammy's GTH. I mean, just by the looks, perhaps. But I mean, that's a great move for a heel. Usually you see a heel with the submission, but that just brutally hurts the person. And you could get heat from that, especially if you hurt them in real life. Next, we got Dante Martin. And Dante fights Eli Isom. They both are very acrobatic and athletic, and of course you're going to see a lot of false finishes. You're going to see a lot of acrobatic moves. As you see, Dante, he jumps off, does the tornado, as Excalibur calls it. He also does in the match that move where it looks like he's going to do the half and half and does a one-arm slam. Pretty impressive. There's a point where after the tornado, he brings Eli inside, and then he does the nosedive. Pins him 1, 2, 3, and that's the end of that, man. Next, we got Cheeseburger, Logan Easton LaRoe, and Rhett Titus. Cheeseburger, man, that guy, he has hamburgers. He gives them to some kid, and then the factory, they come out and they harshen the mood. Basically, QT Marshall, he basically insults some guy in the crowd, and usually I would say that is mean, but the guy probably deserved it. Cheeseburger, I'm amazed they let him pick up QT Marshall, because usually Cheeseburger is Cheeseburger, but hey, you know what? They're going to let him do whatever he wants. The factory does this move that they botch. QT Marshall, he does 2 cutters on him to make sure he's down. And Carter, he pins Cheeseburger 1, 2, 3. Next is Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. Man, Eddie, he needs to chill out. And Miles Hawkins and Joe Keys are their opponents. Ortiz gets picked up for something that looks like a backdrop and ends up being a backbreaker and is a slingshot. Then, at the end of the match, Ortiz and Kingston, they do some like a Russian leg sweep STO combo. Eddie does this plum lock that they've been calling it. They win the match, making the guy tap out. He actually gets up pretty quick instead of just continuing the lock. Then, instead of putting his hand up for victory, he runs out, gets a steel chair. Ortiz is trying to calm him down, but this guy, he needs to mellow out. Dark Order's Alex Reynolds is accompanied with Silver, and Kip, of course, has Penelope with him. Yeah, Box Boy, he bites, obviously, as you saw in that image, and he does a springboard DDT. Pretty impressive how Reynolds sells it. Then he finishes Reynolds off with the slingshot suplex, beating him 1, 2, 3. And that's all there was. Yeah, we got Angelico. Man, he's vibing. He's too cool. And he is accompanied by the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny. And the Bunny dropped her little fur gimmick. And Danhausen and their gang, they make fun of that. Well, the Bunny, she low blows Beretta. And they thought that was going to be enough to pin him. But no. Then one of the best friends jumps and onto Angelico. Taylor, he tries to distract the ref with a steel chair while Danhausen curses the Blade. The Blade, he tries to fight it, but he gets low blow. Obviously, the Bunny, she doesn't like that. Trent Beretta pins the Blade, and that was it. Man, during the pin, though, I think the Blade headbutt his lower regions. Yeah. And this lady, she claims she's been a fan of AEW for like 20 years or 30 years, but she doesn't even look over 20. Not trying to hit on her. And then there's this promo where there was static, and of course, Alex Reynolds had a promo about their upcoming match with Sabian. Alright, people, that was it. You guys have a good one. Vibe well out there. And if you don't agree with that, man, you could go to the comment section. Like, subscribe, comment. And to all the haters, man, you need to really talk to yourselves. Your vibrations are out there, man. They're like waves, and the waves, they'll drown everybody around you. Like if it was a tsunami. You think I'm lying to you? Come on, man.
Are you ready to experience an elevation one mortals may never comprehend, perhaps never will?